What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Training with Bill. So this is my 3.5 week post shoulder surgery update. In case you're new to the channel, I had shoulder surgery on my left shoulder, torn labrum in my left shoulder, and I had surgery 3.5 weeks ago. So in this video, I'm going to go over my recovery progress so far, also my update with the surgeon. A few guys have actually reached out and asked me to give them some tips with regards to sleeping positions, because that is a nightmare when you have shoulder surgery, and also my vpulse and ice machine. So I'm going to get straight into that. Let's do this. So first and foremost, guys, I've got to say that my recovery is a lot better than I was expecting. Initially, when I went into this, I was very concerned. I watched a lot of worrying videos on YouTube, a lot of worrying reviews, and it's not that bad, to be honest. It's not as bad as most people have made out. Obviously, I can't move my left shoulder, but I mean, other than that, it's not too bad at the moment. So one of the major concerns I've got now is the overall size that I've lost on my my left shoulder. So that is my right arm. Can still got a bit of shape to it. Obviously, I haven't trained for probably 2 years, but still overall it's pretty good. When we compare it with my left shoulder, I'm going to remove my sling in a second. There's a lot of loss of muscle mass. One of the major concerns I had when I went and did my 2-week update with the surgeon a week and a half ago. So I did my 2-week update. I was a bit disappointed with the news that I got. Initially, I was expecting to start physiotherapy a bit earlier, so at the 2 to 3 week mark. That's just my opinion, that's what I thought. But he said that I can't start till the 6 week mark. So I was a bit shattered to hear that news, a bit disheartened. I really want to recover and get back into work, get back into training, get my life back on track. But when he did explain the reasons as to why I can't start physiotherapy, it made 100% sense. So what he said was that because I've got stitching inside where he had to stitch the labrum and repair it, there's a good chance that it might re-tear if I start physiotherapy earlier. So obviously when you go to physiotherapy, they're going to be trying to maneuver my arms and manipulate it in different ways, strengthen it, they'll be massaging it, doing a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing, and when that happens, that runs the risk of re-tearing those stitches. So the problem with that is not only do you tear the stitches, but with the shoulder in particular, once you do stitch those ligaments or the tendons or whatever it is damage that you've got inside, if you don't fix it on the first go, the second time around that you do happen to try and fix it with surgery, it's not going to be as successful. So that's a big concern. I don't want to re-tear my shoulder, so that's why it's still in the sling. So like he said, 6 weeks it's going to have to stay in the sling, and I won't be able to start physiotherapy until the 6 week mark. So it is what it is. I'm just making the most of it as I've got a bit of free time now at home. So I'm going to update you guys. A few people have actually reached out to me and asked what is the best position to get into with regards to sleeping, because sleeping is probably the worst part of this whole ordeal. If you don't sleep well at night, your day's ruined. If you don't sleep at night, you can't get up and you won't recover. You need the sleep to recover. So I'm going to show you guys now the most comfortable positions that I've found to get into in order to sleep. So before we get into that, guys, I completely forgot. I told you guys I'd compare the left and the right arm. So right arm is still fine. Everything's still full on the right arm. But then when we compare it with the left, that's as good as it gets. So compare that. That's flexing at the moment. Compare that with that. There is a huge difference, guys. I've lost a lot of muscle mass off the left arm, obviously, because I haven't been using it for the past 3.5 weeks. The biggest place that I've noticed the reduction of muscle, or pretty much elimination of muscle, because even when I do flex my arm, that whole back section here is just completely flabby. It doesn't engage whatsoever. Hopefully that gets better as the rehab starts. Compared to this side, you can see where it engages there. So I'm a little bit concerned about that, but hopefully that does come back with the rehab. So all in all, right arm is a huge difference compared to the left arm, where this one here, there's nothing there. So it's pretty interesting to see how much muscle mass you can actually lose fairly quickly. And another thing that I've actually realized is that the strength with my left arm is nowhere near what it should be. So as I bring my arm up, on the way down, as I try and control that and bring it down, my arm just shakes on the way down. So even that bicep can't carry the weight. You can see there's a huge difference between the bicep here. It doesn't even stick out anymore. There's no size whatsoever. There's no strength in there at all. And it'll be interesting to see how quickly that comes back. So anyway, guys, let's get straight into the sleeping positions. So when it comes to sleeping positions, I'm still sleeping with the sling on, and it's very important, as I've said in my previous video, make sure you have a good sling. It makes the world of difference. This one here has a cushion in the middle, hopefully you guys can see, so that keeps my arm always propped up away from my body. That keeps it in a neutral position so I'm not putting any tension on my shoulder. At the same time, I've got 2 straps. So I've got the strap that goes on top to prevent my arm from dropping down, and at the same time I've got a strap on the side, and that stops it from moving away from my body. So what I do is before I go to sleep, I can just tighten that strap up here, and that means even if I try and roll over, my arm is still fixed in that one position, so it's not going to drop down on either side. And what I do when I go to sleep, there's two main positions that I sleep in. So I've got the brown pillow that's at the back that rests for my head, and then I've got this one here that sits underneath my shoulder. So this one here is probably the most important one because that props up your shoulder and takes all that weight off it. So I'll show you guys the first position. So what I do is I get as close as I can to that side. So obviously if my left shoulder is the one that's injured, so I prop up the left shoulder. If it's your right shoulder, you prop up your right shoulder. So what I do is I just get in as close as I can to that pillow, rest my head on the brown one, and then I can just lean back onto this one and it's propped up. So for the first whole week, I used to sleep like a vampire. I'd just cross my fingers or my hands like this, and I'd just sleep like a vampire for the whole week. So what I found out after that was that because I've tightened that bottom strap, my arm doesn't actually move back and forward in this motion. So what I also found was that I can actually roll over, which is the most comfortable position for most people to sleep in. What I do, I extend my arm and then I'll just roll over like this, so I've still got that support on my back to prevent me from rolling back, and then I can just sleep like this, remembering that the strap is tightened up so that I can't move my arm. So even if I try and roll over, my arm doesn't move anywhere. My arm stays fixed to my body, and that is the most important part, guys. So this is the most comfortable ways that I've found to sleep, as long as you've got your shoulder propped up. Initially, before I went into this surgery, I was so close to buying a reclining chair or a lazy boy, because so many people have mentioned online that they spent like the first 6 weeks just sleeping in the recliner. So that's what I was considering doing, but I found this works perfect. It's a lot more comfortable to sleep in your own bed, obviously. Now I'll show you guys my vpulse machine. So this machine here is called a vpulse machine. Now there's a lot of other names for it. Most people know them as an ice machine. So basically this one here helps in reducing swelling on your whatever body part that you've got. In my case, I've got my strap there for my shoulder. So what it does is it just provides a really cold, imagine if you're putting an ice pack or whatever you've got in the freezer, putting that on your body. That reduces the swelling, reduces inflammation. It also helps with the recovery process and definitely reduces your pain. So what we've got here is a little ice pack that it comes with, and that simply goes in the top. So I'll show you guys how this works. You just basically click that over. You can see there it's filled up with water up until the watermark somewhere down there. And then I simply drop in my ice pack, and then I'll lock that back into position. So it's actually pretty good construction. I wasn't expecting it. This one here, it's for hire, so you don't have to buy it. It's a waste of money if you're going to buy it in one hit. Just hire it out. And this here is my shoulder strap. So I'll show you guys right now how this straps on. So with the vpulse machine, it's very easy to use. It's straightforward, it's very simple. The brand of it is Breg, in case anybody's interested, B-R-E-G. So if you guys want to check it out, maybe it's worthwhile getting. I'm not too sure how much it costs for hire in other countries, but if it is too expensive, you can just use an ice pack. So it's going to do the exact same thing. It reduces inflammation, reduces swelling, reduces the pain, and also helps with the recovery. So obviously cold therapy, very easy to apply. So we just take off the old sling, throw that away, and then all you want to do is it comes with a shoulder pad. So you can see there that this little blue section here is the plug for the water. So that section goes on your bicep, which makes it a bit easier to go through. So you just swing that over. There's a strap on the back that I'm going to try and reach over for it, and that's the one there. So we just strap that on so it doesn't move out of place. There's another strap that also goes around the bicep, which is this one here. And the reason why there's so many straps is this is not only a ice or cold machine, but it also has compression. So it works really well. It's got a compression function and also the ice. So the compression is exactly like you'd feel with a blood pressure machine when they check your blood pressure. It does the exact same thing, so it compresses all the coolness against your skin. It's also got a cutoff. So I'm not promoting this product, it's just simply for you guys. If you're interested, if it's cheap, if it's worthwhile, get it. If not, ice pack will work just fine. So it's got the ice function and the compression function. I use both of them. Press play. And that's it, that starts to compress and blow up instantly. It starts to pass all that cold air or cold water straight through this whole pad, and works really, really well. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this update, and I've helped you guys out with regards to your sleeping positions, with regards to my recovery progress, and also with the vpulse machine. If you've got any questions, put them in the comment section below. If there's anything else you guys want to see, let me know. As always guys, like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching Training with Bill.